Hello, everybody. Welcome to Society Scoop. I'm Kavita, and oh my God, I'm so excited for today's episode because we're talking about something that sounds impressive on paper, but it is also apparently a lot to carry in real life. So today's guest is a lecturer, a PhD candidate, and someone who is basically doing two very demanding things at once and somehow still showing up with grace. She describes herself as smart, funny, and kind. And honestly, after talking to her, I'd say all three, 100%. And we're getting into the PhD journey today. So those of you who are listening and you have completed your undergraduate, you're looking into postgraduate studies, and you like to hear what the life is like when you're actually juggling PhD studies while doing your work. Is it a good decision, or you want to get some inspiration? This is the episode just for you. And everybody, please welcome Amera. Hi, Amera. Welcome to Society Scoop Podcast.
Hello, hi everyone.
So let's just get started here.
Okay.
So when people hear PhD candidate, they usually picture someone who has it all together. So what is the reality for you right now?
For me right now, I think when people say, like when I say I'm going through a PhD journey, the first thing that will come to their mind, like you continue to study again, like because previously I was working, right? And then, so when I tell them, I think I just want to get a PhD, because it's been a passion of mine since I was young, because my father also had a PhD. So essentially, he became like a mentor to me throughout my career development, my studies. So juggling, like you say, juggling two things at once is a lot of work, But you just have to be disciplined, that's all.
All right. So what actually, did you plan to actually start PhD at this moment? Or has it been something that you thought, okay, right now I'm free and then I'll just take this on?
Okay, actually, when I finished my master's back in 2014, I thought of jumping into PhD straight away. But then I was thinking maybe I should get industrial experience first. So I went on working in the private sector. So I was previously public relations officer and then managing the social media sites for the company. And then I moved back with my parents. Okay. I moved back with my parents. So I started working in a university. So it's a totally different situation. So when you're working in a university, people that know you have a master's will somehow motivate you to go for your PhD. They will say, "Oh, Amira, you've been teaching," because I taught also subjects as a part-time tutor. I was teaching also at University Malaysia Terengganu. So I was working two jobs at one time. I was also the publication officer, and I was also a part-time lecturer or tutor there.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, I found that the teaching, like I like teaching and I like doing research, and so PhD came about when it was during COVID at that time. So I thought that maybe that's an opportunity for me. I saw there was an online, they were looking for a graduate research assistant, and at the same time, I could also do my PhD. So, meaning that I also had to work and I also had to do my PhD at the same time. So I took the initiative to send my resume to the supervisor, and we had a talk session, and then I had to go for an interview, and then I got the GRA position, and then I had to move from Terengganu. I had to move to Kedah to undergo the graduate research assistant things and undergo the PhD program. So so I'm currently in my final year, hopefully to finish this year, inshallah.
Yes, and I think that because you have actually you wanted this since young, and I'm sure that you will complete it successfully. And also, I mean, I'd like to ask you now how important it is for you or maybe for people out there, for them to get industry experience first before actually pursuing PhD?
For me, I think it is really important because when you teach, right? When you teach, it is not always about what's in the textbook. Because I have always admired lecturers who previously taught me when they had something outside of the textbook, because everything inside books we can learn, we can read, we can learn it. But anything of the industrial experience is something valuable. It's something you don't really get the experience from the textbook. So for me, for those that have worked in the industry for a long time and they become a lecturer, is an added bonus because they can speak from the experience that they have. They can actually teach from the experience that they have, and they can actually give a good insights to the students. Because when I ask students, like when I get back the students' evaluation, is that they really value those experiences you have, because you don't get that in books or in journals. And they really appreciate that when we share something about our experience from the industry, it's like they can relate things easier with the subject I'm teaching. Yeah.
Okay. So now, when you were juggling as a part-time tutor, and also at the same time you were working as a public relation officer, was it that?
No. Right now I'm a part-time lecturer.
Okay.
And then I'm a full-time PhD student. Yeah.
All right. So for those who would like to explore into tutoring or lecturing positions, so right now, I think it is also noted that mostly you need a PhD for you to apply for lecturing positions. So
yeah.
so if it's for tutoring, however, do they see a qualification, like education qualification?
For now, actually, if you have a master's, right? If you have at least have a master's, you can actually go into lecturing. Yeah, you have at least a master's because those with masters, you can teach undergraduate students. Yeah. So I went in previously teaching in University Malaysia Terengganu with my master's degree. So I was teaching. I'm in the communication side. So I was teaching writing for media for about 2 semesters, and then for me it's just if you have a passion to teach, you get your master's degree and then you can teach the undergraduates. Yeah, I think it is easier for you to apply to any tutoring or part-time lecturing, or even if you want to go on full-time.
Yeah,
it's advisable to get the PhD. Yes.
All right. And do they also need to have prior lecturing or teaching experiences, or would they?
Usually, when you go for interview, they will ask you to do a mock teaching.
All right.
So from there, they will know whether you have the ability to actually teach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand. All right. And you have also described that there's a quiet struggle to pursuing PhD and also juggling your lecturing position and also pursuing PhD at the same time. Mm-hmm. So what does that struggle actually look like? What is the hardest part that no one actually talks about?
I think the hardest part is actually writing. Yeah, it's actually finding time to actually work on your PhD, and actually because you have a job at the same time you're still doing your PhD. So it's actually finding time to write, because you not only have to write your thesis, you have to come up with article journal and academic journal paper. Yeah. So you have to keep on writing. You have to keep on. The struggle is that it's you're in this journey alone. So you have to keep motivating yourself. You have to sit down and find the time to actually write. Whatever it is, write the corrections. Right, there will be always numerous corrections going on, and until that PhD is done, there will be several. You have to do a lot of presentations. You have to do a lot of corrections, and I think it's just finding time to balance out, because previously I was a graduate research assistant, and then that was also quite a demanding thing, because from there I had to collect data. I had to do a lot of community programs, and there were a lot of things that you have to juggle. So actually, I've been working and studying since I was doing my master's. So I was also studying and I was also working. So for me, for me, that's why I say you have to actually push yourself to actually write and push yourself that you really want this degree and to just finish. Yeah. You need that determination, actually.
So, and when you're doing this writing and there's a supervisor that will be checking your work as well,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So how well do you work together with your supervisor in terms of getting the right tone to your writing? Does your supervisor always go against your style of writing, or how do you convince your supervisor?
I think at first, because I'm a qualitative researcher as of
Yeah.
now. So previously I was a quantitative person. So
Okay.
getting the tone of writing from someone who used to write from quantitative side to a qualitative side is very different, because a qualitative researcher write differently. Like, there are words and there are terms that only qualitative researcher will use. So I think while I was writing, I was struggling to find the balance of how does a qualitative researcher write. So what my supervisor does is, she asked me to read a lot of journals, a lot of pieces by qualitative researchers, so I know the tone and the style of writing. I think the struggle was that to find how does a qualitative researcher writes. Like there are certain terms that only when you read it, you know this paper or this thesis is a qualitative research, you know. So yeah, it's actually finding the right tone. So sometimes, there'll be times where she don't agree with my supervisor, don't agree with this, don't agree with that. So she'll just ask me to do corrections. But at the end of the day, you have to know that they are trying to make us better, like trying to make us the writing better.
Yeah.
Sense that we are trying to be someone that will essentially have a PhD. So a supervisor will usually direct you to write in a certain way that will, somehow carry the weight of your thesis. Yeah.
All right. That's amazing. Good to know that. And as a lecturer and as a PhD student at the same time, how do you hold both identities? Do they ever clash for you, Amira?
Um, They don't, because when you teach, you are the lecturer, right? So students listen to you and you prepare the PowerPoint, you teach, and you just go into class. But when I am the student, I have to listen to my supervisor, their advice, whatever it is that they are, that they suggest. Because just like right now, what I'm experiencing is that when we submit our work to our lecturer, like even when the students submit work to me before their final submission, you know how sometimes they will see, oh, Miss, can you check this work before I submit before the deadline? So you give your comments on this and that. So that's the thing I'm doing. My supervisors are also doing for my thesis or my paper. So they are giving me comments that for improvement. So there'll be so there's no clash. Like when I'm in my class, I'll be the one who teach the students and give guidance. But when I am the student, I will ask for guidance from my lecturer. Yeah.
All right. So when you're actually pursuing PhD, many people who have been doing PhD while working, it actually takes a toll on most people. So have you ever faced a situation where you thought that, oh my God, I can't do this. Do I need to postpone this? And have you ever come to a situation where you thought of stopping? Or
Actually, to be honest, there are multiple times that I wanted to quit. Like, I just woke up one day and say, I think I'm gonna quit my PhD. Like there'll be days, because I think the most frustrating thing about this journey is that when you submit a paper, like a research paper, to a journal, right? Not all journals will accept your paper. There'll be multiple rejections. So being a student, I think being a PhD student is that you must be strong in handling rejections. So, like, I think I received a lot of rejection for my paper, and then it came to a point that I said to my supervisor, maybe I'm not cut out for this, because you always get rejections and you don't know what is wrong with with either is it yourself or is it the paper? And then what they do is they say, oh, we can try again and send to another journal. And then for me, it's like why is it okay for them but it's not okay for me?
Yeah. What is it that? Yeah.
When you get rejections, I think we received like 3 or 4 rejections. I'm like at the verge of already like, quitting my study, but they keep pushing. They say, we just keep sending the paper to other journals and the journal. Yeah. So, but I think the main point of it is, you just need to find which journal that will actually accept your paper in the end, because I think being part of this journey is it's not easy. There'll be times where you actually feel really motivated, and there'll be times where you feel like, what am I doing? You suddenly wake up one day, you just want to quit, but you don't quit, So yeah, I think being okay with handling rejections, being okay with people criticizing your work is part of this journey. Yeah.
What would be your advice to people who are pursuing PhD while working? What would be the best advice for you to keep them going despite all the struggles or the thoughts of quitting? So what would be your advice to them?
My advice is because we want this PhD, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long the journey is, because PhD is not a race. It is a journey. So some people will complete in 3 years, some people will complete in 2 years, some people will complete in 6 or 7 years. It doesn't matter how long it will take. You will eventually finish. So actually, I think the advice is you have to keep going. You have to keep being in this journey no matter what. You have to always be prepared to, even if you wake up one day, you feel like quitting, don't quit, because you're already in this journey. And it's just, part of this journey is you will feel the high and the lows. So you will feel when you're highly motivated, like you can't wait to get this degree. But when you feel really like demotivated, what I do is I just keep reminding myself, this is what I want. And you need to be persistent. Yeah, your efforts needs to be persistent, and you need to be, just stay focused. And yeah, my advice is have discipline, have good time management, and just while you're working, you're also pursuing your studies. I think a lot of people have been doing this for a while. I know there are a lot because I attend courses where there are students who does this, like they take on PhD, but they are also working at the same time. So I am not the only one in this world that is going through this journey. There are multiple people that are still working, but sometimes they take like study breaks, So like my friend, I have a friend who she's going back to work soon, and then she told me I have to go for my Viva session before I go back to work. Those breaks. She say like she just, because she say once she start working, it's really hard to juggle, like work and study at the same time. Yeah, some people they can do it. Some people will just take a break from their work for a bit, and then So for me, it's just really just keep motivating yourself that you want this degree. At the end of the day, you are the one that really wants this PhD.
Yeah, that's right, Amira. And also, you have mentioned that it doesn't matter how long they take to complete. And also, when it comes to doing research, there are also like a certain duration, or when you're actually referring to a study or this specific topic that you are researching. So let's say someone, if they're going to take longer than usual, so let's say they're completing within 6-7 years time, do you think that data when they publish that time would still be relevant, or do they still have to make some sort of modification, or they have to update their data before publishing it?
For me, data, whatever you have, it will always be relevant. It will always be relevant because you are contributing to the body of knowledge, because whatever data you have is your data, and you need to let the world know about it. Like for me, I'm doing something on at-risk students. So my study is about, I look at how teachers and students communicate. So, and I see how, what are the things that make the at-risk students of dropping out. So I study about kids that do not like to go to school, that, who are not motivated to go to school, how to keep them in school. So I look at the communication side of it. Yeah, just in layman terms, I look at the communication side of it. Yeah. So research, like for me now, I write papers on my data, and although the research has been done like in previous years, but the data is still relevant because somehow somebody would want to read your data and know that in her study she found out about this. It's still relevant. It doesn't matter how like it does. Yes, your research has a time limit, but I think when you want to publish your data, whatever you have in your thesis, for the world to read it, it's still relevant. It doesn't matter how long or how long it may have passed, but the data that we have is always relevant to let the people in the academic field to know about this. Yeah, so the data will keep being relevant, but you need to publish. Yeah, the main point is you need to publish it. Yes,
correct. Have to put it out there, so at least it definitely will be helpful in somewhere for those people who are doing the similar studies, or maybe something that you have found out on that particular theory, and then they could expand it more. Yeah, and now that we're talking about your research topic, right, Amira? So what actually inspired you to finalize on this topic? Or did you like observe something and then you thought, oh, why not I do a research on this?
Okay, so like I have said before, I'm a graduate research assistant, so I didn't really have I didn't have a choice actually to do the topic that I want, but I have to do the topic according to the research area.
Okay.
So what happens is that the big group already have their own research topic. So what I have to do is I have to find what is it under the realm of that research that I want to study. So I think it came to a point to me before I wanted to defend my proposal. I finally found out that I wanted to study about the strategic communication approach. So when I told my supervisors, they said that as long as you can defend yourself that you want to study this, that you can defend your method that you want to study this, when I think during the proposal defense, they were having a bit of they didn't quite agree with the theory I wanted to use, but we somehow changed that, and after that they agree. So but for me, if you're not under a certain grant, or if you're not under a certain like research grant, you are free to actually do whatever topic that you want. But as long as because I know friends who are under scholarships like Amera scholarships or other scholarships, and it's good that you do something that is within your research area or within your area of expertise, because at the end of the day, when I graduate, I will be in the communication, advertising, journalism area. So I will teach in those subjects. So right now my niche area will be strategic communication, organizational communication, behavior, all that. I will look into all that. So that's my research area.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, Amira. Now, for those who are planning to pursue PhD, let's say they have allocated some funds. So let's say they have usually I think PhD will cost between 40 to 50,000 ringgit.
Yes, about that.
So now let's say when you need to publish a paper, publishing in a journal, and you're doing this research. So usually what would be the budget they should be allocating for them to do this research?
For a research, it's actually it really depends on your title, because for the data, like you want to collect your data, you need to see who are your respondents, okay? And are you doing an online survey, or are you doing an in-depth interview or a focus group? It really depends on what research you want to do. Because I know a friend, she her topic where she have to go and interview elderly people, and she have to actually knock on the doors of elderly homes, and like people, those meaning that those that stay in that house is an elderly people. And she told me it is hard because not all elderly people will open the door and actually let them be interviewed or answer the questionnaire. Like the struggles are there. So actually and then she said like, yeah, she prepared them like gifts and everything. Yeah. So essentially when you meet for interview or when you get people to answer your questionnaire, somehow you sort of like have to have a certain incentive for them. Like people, if you just say, can you help me answer this questionnaire? Like people do not want to answer. So when you actually approach people, can you answer my questionnaire? I will give you some, like some gift. Then they will answer your questionnaire. So it was really hard because I know I have friends who have struggles getting the number of respondents, who have struggles finding so the budget really depends on your research topic and what kind of method that you will collect the data, whether it's online surveys. If it's online surveys, then it's okay because you just send out messages to everyone. But actually, you need to actually know who is it that you want to send to, like essentially who is the criteria for your respondents. Yeah. So I think if you ask me about budget, it will cost a lot. Even for publishing, like you said, yes, for publishing, actually for a paper, some journals, they are free. They are free article publication fees. They are free, but some journals, they will demand money. So you can actually look for Scopus index paper that is actually free. Yeah. Right. But if you have more money and you want to send out to those that require article processing fees or whatever, yeah, you are more than welcome to do so. But you need to be mindful that you need to have a certain budget, like you say, because even when you attend conferences, sometimes your paper will be accepted for a journal or a Web of Science index paper. So the good thing about when you attend a conference and you present your paper and it is accepted, it is guaranteed a publication. So it is killing two birds in one stone, where you actually meet people and network, and you can actually publish your research. Yeah.
Okay. And now also, how can people, in terms of how do they decide whether their study should be qualitative or quantitative? Or it depends on how open are they to actually collect a lot of data and you want to put it into quantitative, or they're the type of person who don't mind doing a lot of reading and looking beyond based on all the articles or that they have collected? How do they actually decide?
To me, what I did was I didn't have a choice for me, because my supervisor wanted a qualitative research. Okay. But if you do have a choice, what you can do is we'll be reading a lot of research paper, a lot of journal articles, theses, and what you can do is you need to find the methodological gap. So a lot of research in my area, a lot of research have been done where they do a mixed method and a quantitative approach. Okay. So the part of why I have to do a qualitative research is I'm filling in the gap for the methodological gap. There is not much study qualitatively for my area. Yeah. So essentially you want to do something that contributes towards it. So by doing qualitative research, it will fill in the gap, meaning that my study will contribute to this. So when you want to decide on what method you need to do, even let's say if just say I did a quantitative research, I have to have actually like a valid reason why I still want to do a quantitative research despite everyone is, a lot of people is doing it. Why don't I want to do a qualitative research? So essentially, it is up to you. If you're comfortable doing quantitative, then you're okay, because you need to know how you want to the software. You need to analyze your data. You need to be comfortable with that. You need to be comfortable with either you want to use SPSS. So there's a lot of approach that you can analyze your data.
Yeah.
or for us, there are two software for qualitative researchers. There is NVivo and Atlas. So you need to be able to know the software to actually analyze your data nowadays. With the help of AI and everything, you actually
Yeah.
you can actually learn how to even in YouTube, you can learn how to analyze your data, but you need to know how you want to do your analysis, whether you're comfortable doing it like SPSS, using SPSS, or you want to do a different software. So essentially for me, you need to see the research, like you need to read a lot. When you want to determine what method you want to use, it's actually based on the readings itself. Yeah.
All right. Now that we have touched upon on AI, Amera, in your opinion, do you think education, postgraduate studies would still be relevant in years to come? And with AI, it's being integrated in quite many industries, and even people are using it in their daily activities. So, do you think education will still be relevant in future?
Yes, education is relevant. Okay, despite having AI, you need to know actually how to use AI the right way. Because you don't have knowledge to use AI, you don't know how to actually use it. So actually, for me, education will always be relevant. You still need to be to learn, because for me, having knowledge is really vital. Even though now the rise of social media fame and social media influencers are on the rise, but having an education essentially is really important, because it will bring you more good for your future actually. So it will still be relevant. And even when I tell my students, when they submit work to me and their similarity index is high, their AI is high, I will always tell them, you need to know what is the right way to use AI. If you submit the work to me and it is 100% AI, like you ask ChatGPT to do your research, then what the purpose of you coming to my class and actually doing the assignment? So I tell them, like, I will teach you the right way of using AI. So I hope that you guys will know how to use it correctly. So yes, sometimes it is a struggle to teach them, because sometimes I have a large class of about 80 to 70, and sometimes I have a small class like around 20 to 40. So I usually tell my students, all of you are scholars, and as scholars, you need to be thinking, you need to be critically, be mindful of what you are doing. And if you just depend everything on AI, then what's the purpose of you being a student and come to university and actually learn? Because the person who create AI is essentially human, right?
Yeah.
A human brain is more powerful than an AI. So you should not be depending doing assignments or doing anything on AI. So I always tell my students, we are more intelligent than the AI. We are the one who created the AI. So, so for me, yes, education will always be relevant despite us having like automation and everything on AI. Yeah.
Precisely. I think you put a point beautiful over there, because it was the human. We are the one who created this AI, and even without education, there wouldn't be progress. So because we are learning, and that's why we are able to bring this invention, this innovation, that able to ease things, and it should be used as a tool, but not to replace things. And I hope people would understand that difference, and not just use it for the sake of just completing work, but it also should be just like how you're referring to an encyclopedia or other textbooks. Just use it as a tool and not to just to complete it. And I think you as a lecturer, you definitely have faced students submitting work just by ChatGPT.
Yes. Yeah. It's a struggle actually, because I usually tell them, if you think like even before we had AI, right? So back in before COVID, so we didn't have AI, right?
Yeah.
So but I had students who submit work to me when I check the similarity index is 100%. Okay. So what I do is I get her work, I paste it on Google, and it came out the article where she got it from. Okay. So I told my students, if you're submitting work to me but it is done by somebody else, do you really think that I wouldn't really detect that your level of English, like it's flawless,
Yeah.
So when I ask you to write something and you give me this kind of work, I told them I'm going to give you a 0. So I told so because I had advice from my coordinator that time. I was telling my coordinator, most of my students have submitted work that is, the percentage of seniority is really high. Some of them goes to 100%. And then coordinator said, just ask them to redo again and you remark again. So those that got like more than 30%, more than 20 to 30%. So I asked them to redo. I said, if you do not want to redo your assignment, I'm going to give you a 0 because this is the only chance I'm going to give.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of students because I told them, how do you feel when somebody else take ownership of your work? You feel angry, right? Because you'll be saying, I'm the one who did that work. Why is this person claiming that she is doing the work? You just something like. So doing this thing, it's a struggle with you because you're trying to educate kids, and kids they will do anything just to submit the work. But the thing is, as a lecturer, we do not want them to take ownership of a work that they don't do, like they don't do it by themselves.
Yeah. That's right, Amera. That's right. And definitely being a lecturer in this day of age is definitely not easy. It's not only how to prepare the lesson and have to convey the lessons to the students. And when they're submitting these assignments with all this technology, yes, it's definitely difficult being a teacher and an educator in this day of age. Not easy. And Amira, my next question to you. So what's something that you wish people in your life that they understood about this journey of you doing PhD, but somehow they just don't get it? What do you think that they should understand? What is the difficult part of this journey?
I think the most difficult part is people asking you, "Are you done yet? Like, are you done?" Like even when you're in your first year, your second year, the third year, people keep asking me, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" People just don't get it. Like the time is I'm not rushing. It's like I said, it's not a marathon. Like I don't like when people know okay, I'm studying. And next question is also, when will you finish? I do not have a definitive answer. Like in my first year, like I just tell them, I'm starting. Why do you ask me when will I finish? I don't know. It could go on in 4 or 5 years. So part of being a PhD student is actually people do not understand that it is time consuming, and meaning that it will go on for 3 to 4 years. It's like I know a friend who the sister actually complete the PhD in 10 years. You see?
Wow.
So actually, like I said, it doesn't matter how long it will take your PhD, 5 years, 3 years, as long as you complete it. And the thing about PhD is you are the only one that knows how your progress is. Like the whole world will never understand how come it's taking you so long, or for them it's like you're on this journey forever, like when will you finish? So I think like letting the society knows that PhD is actually is not a race. It's not something that we just say I start PhD this year, I will complete it next year. No, there is no such thing. So I think that the time, like actually trying to make people understand that I'm not rushing against time, and time is actually something that a PhD people we cannot control. Like some people will finish their PhD in 3 years. That's their luck. Some people will finish in up to, like I said, my friend's sister finish in 10 years. That's her journey. But at the end of the day, she's still getting the PhD. Like, get your PhD. Nobody will ask you, how long did you take? Yeah, because for me, it's as long as you reach your ending point where you have your viva or you submit your full thesis for examiners, then that's it. You're done. Because my dad did his PhD in Australia. I think he complete in 6 years. Okay. So I think because he said he had a few struggles also, but essentially when you got the PhD, like he said, when he got his PhD, no one asked him, how long did it take for his PhD? But when people ask him, he will tell it took him 6 years, and he had a lot of struggles too, because when you are abroad, it's different. You will have a different kind of struggles. Yeah.
Correct. That's right, Amira.
Yeah.
And what does success look like to you right now? Has it changed from when you started?
Yes.
Okay.
For me right now, I think essentially I want success to me is being because right now I'm a researcher, a scholar, a lecturer. So it's actually I finished the grant. Okay, I don't have any more grant money. So for me now, success look very different. Like when I started, I just want to get my PhD done. Okay. Like as of now, yes, I'm going to finish soon. But for me, I want to keep on doing research. I want to keep on contributing to the society. So what I'm doing now is, I'm on a mission to get a new grant. Like hopefully to get a new grant to start on a different kind of research and to start publishing and to start, actually writing. So yes, if you ask me, does success look different to me now? Yes. For me now is okay. I'm going to be a PhD. I'm going to graduate with a PhD. So after that, what's life after PhD? So for me, essentially, I want to keep on doing research. I want to keep on contributing to the body of knowledge. I want to, actually, just go on, keep publishing papers, keep teaching. Yeah. So success to me before I finish really looks different. Like before. I really wanted my paper to be published, my articles to be accepted. But for me now, it's really different. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Amira, for sharing. And I think everybody who listened to this episode and those of you who need some inspiration, this definitely would inspire you. And of course, with all the struggle that you're going through, let's say if you're juggling both work and studies, you definitely need to remind yourself, why did you actually do this out first? And that's how it kept Amira going as well. And Amira, this is such a good one. Thank you so much for your time. And you made something that is very niche, and somehow it feels really universal for the rest other people to relate at the end of. And because at the end of the day, it's about you doing something hard and still choosing to keep going.
Yes.
And and I think this not only applies to those who are pursuing studies, it applies to everyone. No matter what you're doing, you just gotta keep going. And also, Amir, do you have any other final advices that you like to share to people out there?
I think for me is you have to be passionate about what you do. Like you have to actually enjoy working. You actually have to enjoy studying. So if people ask me like, so after PhD is done, right? You're not going to get another degree. I say, yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
Done. Because actually after PhD, you can get a postdoctoral degree also. So for me, no, I don't think I want to go into postdoc. For me, I would just go, So my advice is you need to be passionate about what you do. You need to love what you do. Like for me, I enjoy studying. I enjoy teaching. So actually in life, you need to have a passion for what you do. Because I know some people, they just work, but they don't have the passion to actually do the work. So you need to actually enjoy what you do in life. So actually you can have a good time, even though you're struggling, like you feel like you're dying every day, but you actually enjoy yourself.
Correct. You have put that nicely and also summarized our entire conversation today, Amira. Thank you so much. All the best for your Viva that's coming up this year. And I will look forward to your graduation. All the best for that. I know you will do it successfully. All right, everyone. That's all for today's episode on Society Scoop. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.